Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another Marine ETM. Actually, this time it's a comeback, let's say, because Eric from, let me just get his information 1 second. Yeah, Eric Youssef from California. He sent me his computer, I think like a month or so ago, and it was not repairable. So I have one here. I tested it out, run it for a couple of hours or so, like I always do before sending a module to the customer. And tested as good. I said, yes, I have a good working computer here. Mark it as good. It wasn't even open. I never do any repair or nothing on that. And so he got it, run it for a couple of hours, and then it died on him. And then it was cycling, starting, and so on. So he's like, Mike, I think we have problems on the computer. I'm like, okay, send it over. Let me double check. And I was definitely able to reproduce the concern. And it was actually very quickly. I had it probably running for like 10 minutes at first. I'm like, it's running perfect. I don't have any problems, but only in 10 minutes. And after I warm up and start doing that, cutting, kind of like immediately cutting and keep going, cutting and keep going. So I'm like, that's very common situations on EEPROM. And I went and jumped the gun and replaced the EEPROM. And that didn't correct the problem. I still have that. So I run it for another 10 minutes and it happened again until a new start. So it was actually these computers, when they're connected, at least on my simulator, when they're not running, they draw around 0.31, 0.35, those 350 milliamps. That's very normal, again, with my setup here. So when I see something that draws like 200 milliamps, I know that it's a computer that is not fully powered on. And his computer was doing that. But then without me doing nothing, it would immediately go over to the 3.5, and then I have communication and then run again for another 10 minutes, and it cuts off until the problem, it was more or less intermittent. I'm like, yeah, definitely this is a problem with this module. So I have it right now, as you see here, completely open, and I have it actually running for over an hour already. No glitches, everything is fixed 100%. So I'm going to, show you his computer that he can see that is his, and I have it open. I have, like I said, I replaced the EEPROM, and I'm working on the firmware regulator. This is for Eric to see that is his computer. I put my sticker on it like that. If he needs to contact me or if he sells the boat and somebody has a problem, they know where they can send the computer for repairs. But yeah, so let me then also move you over to the screen, which I have the diagram now running, like I said, probably for almost an hour, 55 minutes. And let me take that circle. Actually, let me move my circle 1 second, because I want to make sure that we can see the, actually my cover and anything important in there. No buzzer, you guys can see. No, everything is actually good. So I don't need to move nothing in there. So what I'm going to do is, like I normally do here when I'm just running a computer, so you guys can see better, is put, some of the pits that are very important, like no trouble codes. So the computer wasn't actually doing any trouble codes, but I was able to notice that when it was doing the glitch, let's say like right now I have 12, I start with all my functions, it would have start and run, and then as soon as that glitch happened, it would have come back to the 11 or 10, because actually when it came in, it was in 8. I've been running this for 4 multiple times, 1 hour at a time, not one problem whatsoever. So 4 hours total. I have pictures of all those for my record. So it's a little hard, because when I take the picture on the screen with the screen capture, it takes the time also, but I have 4 different multiple hours. And at least he will be able to see it with the amount of hours, because right now we got 84.4, and then he will know when how many hours he had, hopefully, when he came or sent it before. But so what I want to do is, since it's running really good right now, not glitches, no nothing, I'm going to turn it off. So we're going to see a small synchronization pass. That's just because I lost the crankshaft signal. I'm going to now turn it completely off. Now we're going to see that same pop-up. I'm going to let it go to like 3. Okay, and now I'm going to turn the ignition back on. We can see the fuel pump immediately coming on. And like I said, you know, the amperage is right now is 320, which is perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking. Over 300 milliamps, 310 milliamps. That is exactly a computer that is operational. All right, so right now we got 0 trouble codes, 0 speed, and still the 12 start without malfunction. So I'm going to run it, and it runs immediately. We can see the RPM, and that is good. So let's wait for that to start without malfunction to go to 13. Okay, and it did. And we can see, you know, now the time, the engine running time went down to obviously 0.33 seconds because of obviously I turned the computer off and now it's back on. Things that I can show, let me see, like I had position so you guys can see when the actual computer starts. But sometimes it's, let me see any other feeder maybe. We have also injection milliseconds in here. That doesn't change much unless I change the map, the manifold air pressure. These are density engines. So yeah, I don't think anything else that we can change in there or see that will tell us any other ways the engine is running. So let me again turn the ignition off one more time. All right, that synchronization again, it happens. We can see how the IEC went to 91 steps, and that is because it's off. Ignition is on. We can also see the injector bank A as and B will be the same. So that's why I only put just the one in there. In 4.6 milliseconds, again, the engine is not running. Again, going to turn off completely. We can see how now there's no power. Okay, so I'm going to let it go to 3. Ignition back on. Fuel pump prime. I can hear it. I can hear my relay going click when it's that. And okay, let's run it one more time. And we can see the IEC position changing, which is again, the engine is running. We can have RPM and now the engine running time. And now let's wait for that. Start with all malfunctions to go to 14. And it did. All right, so Eric, sorry about that. I mean, it's a used module. It wasn't never a brand new module, so I didn't tell you as a brand new module, but it's also very hard to know if this is a problem on the boat or not. I didn't find any burnt or any damage that will tell me so, but the way these modules are built are so robust that if you have a problem with the ground, it will start to deteriorate the pads, because the pads in this board, this is a hybrid ceramic board, so it's a printed board, and the layers for where they will seat the components are printed in the board, right? So when a ground is bad on the engine, when the engine is cranking, obviously the computer will try to start the engine no matter what, right? So injectors are being grounded through the computer, and that is where, like if you have a bad ground on the engine, it will start to deteriorate the internal grounds and the internal pads. And the most prone area to get damage is the 5-volt regulator, because it's not just the 5-volt regulator, it's the entire regulator for the, for the entire computer. So that's what I think it could happen. So please check your grounds. Make sure that you got a good battery. This is a very important situation on these boats, to make sure that before you try to crank on any of these boats, especially if it's been sitting, please disconnect the battery, charge it fully, and then attempt to start. A lot of people just goes and with a boat that has been sitting for 6 months and then go and see 12 volts on the gauge and then crank it. But that was just what I call like a phantom voltage, because as soon as you try to start that engine, it will go down to 5 volts, and then that's when things like this can happen also, right? Just, some advices to my customer. All right, guys, thank you so much. Eric, thank you so much for trusting my diagnostics. As you see, I back you up 100%. This is no charge to the customer whatsoever. This is 100% covered by me, and I'm obviously going to take care of shipping back for him as well. Seal it, I guess, the gel, because it's very important when I remove the protection that is around those components. I need to put the gel back, because otherwise corrosion will enter and it will damage the computer very shortly, and I don't want that to happen. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. See you next time. Bye-bye.